6537.
Hello, hello, good morning, good morning. It is 7:30 today. Thank God it is Friday. We are in the last working day of the week. Some of us will get some sleep, maybe some of us will be able to get some things that we want to do this week, but we are grateful, we're thankful that today is the last working day of the week. That rounds off, rounds off the first week of January. How has the week been for you? Or you haven't resumed? Lucky you. Maybe you're resuming on Monday again. Lucky you.
Yeah, a
But
lot of people are resuming on Monday. Oh. A lot of
yeah,
NGOs are resuming on Monday. So I mean,
exactly.
I was talking to somebody last week, no, this week, I think on Monday, and she works with an NGO. She was like, she's even tired of staying at home. Oh, that's
Ah,
can't wait for Monday to come to. I say, you people are still at home. She said, that's a week before the week of Christmas. They're already on break, and not now they're still on break. That she's tired. I say, oh, better you people. Oh, you know what they say?
literally.
Somehow food but cannot eat.
Literally, you're tuned into Women Radio 91.7 FM, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. It's a beautiful day, it's a bright day. We're in the newspaper review program of the Full Breakfast Show, the last one for the week. And I personally, I'm just like, yes, good. I don't want to talk about Nigeria again for the weekend. We'll move it till Monday because the headlines this morning, when I saw them, I said, look, are we going to keep on talking about the same thing? But anyway, um, before we go ahead, let's say hello to our analyst. Good morning, Adeto. Good morning. Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year. It's good to be back. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
still enjoying the holiday anyway.
Oh, wow.
Please, we will find you. We will, at this point, I'm finding people.
Please don't. One of my wake up calls this year is just they're actually more like understand the fact that there is a lot of stress in Nigeria right now, but you just have to take it easy. No
Mm.
matter what it looks like, whether you are expecting 100% from the government,
Mm,
or even better, things around you, just take it easy. I think
mm.
for me, that's what 2026 is all about for
Okay.
me. And
Okay.
if the opportunities come, be grateful. Be grateful for the opportunities that will come. Be expectant. But if it doesn't come, please just take it easy. Don't kill yourself.
I love it.
Like that, and things will start unfolding. That's
I
for me
love
for
it. I
2026.
absolutely love it. So, like Adito has said, take it easy this 2026. Whatever is not going to be sorted is still not going to be sorted. Try to take it easy with yourself. How was your holiday though? You say you're still on holiday, Seth.
No, no, actually, what I mean is, the holiday mood is still there. It's still very early. It's January, of course, but, as to be on deck, you have to, quickly try and strategize for the new year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
by using that, just as Rose said, while you are still on that extended, presumed holiday, just use that to strategize what you want to do for 2026. And also, as I mentioned earlier, be hopeful, be expectant, but don't be so hard on yourself. That's one thing about being hopeful and being expectant.
Yeah.
Everything comes with faith. As you put in that little bit of effort here and there, but don't let the whole world be on you, and I'm sure everything will actually go fine.
Thank
Sure.
you. That was good. That was good. Okay, let's get into it this morning. Our headlines this morning. Things be happening. Starting off with the Punch newspaper, five killed as oh, I'm reading the wrong one. Beg your pardon. I was reading yesterday's one. Please keep bear with me. Okay, I have seen it now. Please give me a second. Oh. Technology wants to fall my hand today, but God pass them. Okay, in the Punch newspaper,
Can
we
you imagine?
have rivers in turmoil. APC leaders intervene as Fubara faces fresh impeachment threats. Rose,
Mm.
when when I saw this, I said, "How?" You see why I
How?
say I have to move with the audacity of Wike this year? because obviously his fingerprint is over. Okay,
All
allegedly. Let me
over
say
it.
allegedly. Allegedly, before they say I said something or I quit. No, it's obvious. Like you can't because. I mean, anyway, let's move ahead. Insurgency, federal government, U.S. company planned delivery of 12 attack helicopters.
Mm. All right, on the Guardian, Zulum commissions remodeled school for vulnerable girls. This is good.
Wow.
Fire destroys goods worth over 200 million in Niger. Mm.
Next, that's so sad. Next up in the This Day newspaper, we have Nigeria secures Pastor Egbaji's release from Benin Republic. I did read this, and this is really, really good. I think he's been there for about 2 years, 2, 3 years.
Mm.
Yes. So we're glad that he's been released now. Declares state of emergency on one chance vehicle operators. Female lawyers charge Wike, police, DSS. So we've been seeing that there's been quite a few killings in Abuja. And I saw last night, maybe late last night, early this morning, that they were saying that some of these bodies they're finding on the road, we thought maybe it was terrorists, kidnappers. Apparently, it's one chance. And to be honest, what's the difference between one chance and them? They're all kidnappers. You
Yeah, all
get
the
so
time.
and I like that these female lawyers are coming for Wike because instead of you to mind the business that pays you in the FCT, because there's a rampant increase in Abuja, you are putting your hand inside Rivers business when there's literal insecurity in your
In
state,
the FCT.
but you're going to River State to do what does not concern you, quote and unquote. So I mean, because this morning, I read that another woman's body was found by the roadside after the nurse's body was found by the
Mm.
roadside. Yeah, this morning, and then I think the same with the doctor. Now we don't know whether the doctor was kidnapped by actual kidnappers or this one again. They're tomato is semantics really. They're all kidnappers. So we're seeing that there's an obvious rise in it. So Mr. Wike, please sort out the insecurity in the FCT before
Yes,
going
Fubara.
because you're also causing unrest in another state when there is obvious unrest in the state, not even the state, in the place that you're meant to be responsible for. Anyway, those are the headlines from This Day newspaper.
All right, heading on to Daily Trust. Fire destroys 15 million naira property in Zamfara warehouse. Another one says Ogun resident doctors vow to join nationwide strike.
God,
Um, okay. Those are the headlines from the Daily Trust this morning.
God, actually, I beg. In the Vanguard, we have 141 million Nigerians poor while politicians jostle for power. I mean, Peter Obi has been saying quite a few things, with regards when things are bad. And that is what an opposition party is supposed to be doing, right?
Mm.
I just checked the headlines if the other one is here. It's not here. He also raised just about how, the Super Eagles not getting their bonuses is an embarrassment. And the special advisor, Wale Odonuga, was like, why are you such a bitter person? And I was like, why are you, I think we're going to talk about it in the headlines this morning. Why are you talking
Yes, it's
about
part of
that?
it.
Because were you not embarrassed that the Super Eagles did not, let me not get ahead of myself. Let me just keep it let me not get ahead of myself because this morning I was just fuming. Okay, next up in the Vanguard newspaper, we have after uncovering 6,000 ghost students, Zamfara digitizes SSC registration. This is a step in the right direction, but 6,000 ghost students. What do they mean? Were they not students? Are they writing for somebody else? I'm not clear.
And even if you do this is Zamfara we're talking about. What about those in the nooks and crannies of Zamfara who don't even know anything about digital or technology, use? How do you prep all of those people before the exams?
Right,
So even if you want to catch good students, the other ones, Uncle, the real ones who are actually in the villages or nooks and crannies of the villages, how do you bring
right,
them on board to be able to do all of this registration online?
right.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's another thing to look at. All right, on the Premium Plan this morning, police began orderly room trial of officers who demanded 100,000 naira from rape victim. You know, this one is really, I think they should really look into this, because person rape you, you go report. They'll come, they tell you, say, pay so amount before we look your case, or do this one before we look your case, or do that. So I think it's the police itself needs a total reform, especially for those who are maybe on in the who sits in the reception decks, or what they call it. Because now if you carry a maybe an accident victim, you decide to help, you carry that person to the hospital, maybe the person go die or something happen, and then you go to report to the police, they'll probably hold you, responsible for the person's death, which at the end of the day you were just trying to be a good Samaritan, a good Nigerian. So how do you want to help others? Because I read the story of one guy a few days ago on the papers. He took somebody who was almost half gone. The person had an accident, so, and everybody was just filming. So he decided to take the person to the hospital, took the person to the hospital, and the person died there. He went to the police to report so that they could actually find the families of the accident, victim. Instead, they held him liable for the person's death, and were telling him that next time when you see something like this, you know, go put your hand inside. And the guy had to call somebody who is in power to actually help him out of that situation with the police. So help him out of the situation with the police. So the person came out and said he doesn't blame people who used to film before they can even act or help anybody. Because at the end of the day, this is Nigeria. See what he faced just for being a good Samaritan. So I think all of these things, especially for rape victims, or domestic violence abuse, that will come and report to you and you will not take it seriously. So I just hope they really look into this. Now,
I
the
think
last one,
the other side to it would be that rather than going to the police directly, because we know that we have a challenge with that. Even if you go and report anything, if it's domestic case violence, theft, the same people say, "Oh, my husband was beating me," they'll be like, "Hey, what do you do? Where your husband make your husband
Mm,
that kind of thing." So I think that in this kind of cases, organizations that fight for women when it comes to rape, and I think it's just better to go through them, because you might get proper response, you get quicker response on time, as opposed to, and then you won't feel dehumanized that somebody raped me, and I have to sit down through answering a man who obviously does not care about the situation I'm in. So go through, there's the Lagos State Domestic Violence Agency. There are quite a
yeah,
few agencies that you can go through, as opposed. It's sad that we have to go through an agency to meet a law enforcement agency, but
enforcement, yeah.
this is where we are at. So yeah, that would be the other side to
Yeah.
it.
All right. The last one on Premium Time says Lagos State House of Assembly approves 4.44 trillion naira 2026 budget. Trillion. I want to see this reflect in the society. But Lagos a try, sha. Lagos a try.
Why say Lagos is trying? Okay, the next. The nation is the nation, because our transportation system is not great, our drainage system is not great. When there's traffic, is horrible. If it's an accident on the road, it will take them a day and a half to clear the accident, and then you see bottlenecks. One accident will cause traffic in the whole of Lagos. Lagos is okay. Lagos is great.
Let's just move on. You're trying. I did not bring it down houses and building on. My trying is no is there's a little bit of sarcasm
Bringing
in
down
it.
houses. I'm ready for you again. We have a mechanic who's like a member of our family now. His house was broken down in December in that
Hmm.
old Shoki side. Yeah. So they're bringing down houses for what exactly? Are they building new ones, or they want to do waterfront for their elite people?
It's And
Please
do you know what? This is causing house rent to skyrocket in Moe Axiso. From Ibafo down like this. If you hear house rent now,
come to beggar.
and all you hear
Beggar is
is
not
that
elite.
people are coming down this way. So it's like either you take it or you leave it.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought, oh God, have mercy on us like this.
And
All
that
because of,
links,
hey,
all because of that, and that links to the fact that we say we're a reflection of our government, because why are you increasing prices? There's
because people
nothing.
are helpless.
There's not,
Why?
the people are helpless, and you're taking advantage of the
Of,
situation. If there's
exactly.
no wickedness, it means that when you enter government, you go do and undo.
You don't do now.
So
Eh?
that's what it is.
All right.
There's no reason why rents house rent to increase the way it is doing astronomically. There's no, I need, because number one, it not be say the house fine, it no fine. The house no get ventilation. 3-bedroom house of last year, they've turned it into 2-bed and 1-bed. So it's already jaga jaga. So tell me what your reason is. You're not giving me an aesthetically pleasing place. It's not even a place where my children can grow and have and can be safe, but you're increasing the price because you know the Nigerians don't have a choice. That's wickedness. God will judge people. Anyway, moving on to the Nation newspaper, federal government confirms release of Super Eagles bonuses. Well, we thank the Lord. Finally, my sister. ADC moves to review constitution to boost electoral chances. All the best to everybody involved.
Amen. On the cable, Tuga, Africa's trade marginalization threatening global stability. Another one says Berete sues ex-army general who accused him of funding terrorism. Okay, so this one, aura for aura.
Aura for aura. Daily Post, we have EFCC 5.78 billion naira case against ex-Kwara governor. Finance commissioner stalled. Next up, we have, you see, my thing with this EFCC and why I'm very, very unmoved by it, because, and I've said this before, who did you offend? Why have you gone out of grace with somebody? Because that's the only reason why. And I say that because we hear of, oh, they're looking for somebody, but we don't see anything happening. Nobody has been arrested. Was it yesterday Emmanuel came on? Yeah, it was yesterday Emmanuel was saying that there's a sitting governor that now has immunity and stealing money at some point. So when I see EFCC things, I'm very unmoved. It's just that when the EFCC moves against the poor person, the poor man, then we now see a lot of movement. But when it comes to these people,
you only hear that maybe they are looking into this case, they're investigating into this one, and that's where the investigation ends. That's just the last of it.
That's it. So I'm very anything we concern anything. Should we Babangida brought us a book and said plenty things in the book, and everybody was kiki with him. Plus the people were like, I'm just like, are we a joke? I think that politicians see us as a joke to them because you know that they just see that Nigerians are unserious. They'll keep on shifting the goalposts. They can adapt.
We can move. We'll just move on from to other things.
It's so sad. Next up, we have illegal mining. Niger Commissioner of Mineral Resources appeals for revival of task force.
All right, on the Tribune, Tinubu condoles Chimamanda Adichie on son's death. This one was really sad. One of our twin boys, died. And I could just imagine what they're going through. We commiserate with them, and we hope that they are able to get past this period. All right, the next one on Tribune says Jigawa Commissioner discovers over 30% inflated student figures in boarding schools. All right, we've touched on this. Let's head on to the pen pushing.
Finally, in the dailies this morning, court adjourns case between Chinese company Ogun State community over land disputes to February 16. And then finally, Nigerian Communications Commission, Central Bank of Nigeria set to roll out refund framework for fulfilled airtime data transactions. Please. Those are the dailies this morning. I have nothing to say because you get 175 yesterday hang where I buy data. Is it 75 or before 5? I bought data. That one is still hanging. There's one 2K one that is still hanging. There's one that I beg my husband to buy is still hanging. They say they want to refund. Why do they want to? Considering that we don't even have a good data system. So how do anyway? Those are the headlines this morning. Let's get into it. This morning, the headlines are caught our eye. You can do well to get to, read, buy the newspaper or read online. Better still, stick around with us. We are live on YouTube at WFM 91.7. If you want to listen to us on the go, www.wfm917.com. The time right now is 10 minutes to 8. You're still tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. This is the newspaper review program on WFM this morning. My name is Fumi Bangala. I'm joined with Rose Yusuf Kaiser and our analyst this morning, Adeto, coming from her very long holiday. It's beef. Don't worry. I didn't tell you it's beef. I'm just beefing you. So it's fine. But yeah, let's get into it. The first one this morning: impeachment. Fubara's defection to APC threatens Wike's grip on Rivers. Do you know we should just title this week Wike Week at this point, because all we've been talking about is Wike and Fubara. But this one took me by surprise. I mean, you know how they say if we go low, we go lower and things like that, but I didn't see this one coming. I'm sure there's some people that will say, oh yeah, they knew he was going to go. Did I think he was going to do something? Yes. But impeachment, that's the new low. So a former Rivers State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Austin Tam George, has suggested that the defection of Fubara to the APC altered the political dynamics in the state, weakening the influence of the camp loyal to the GC. Do you see what we're saying? Weakening the influence of the camp loyal to Wike, basically. So Tam just says that political calculations in the state within the last 3 weeks have changed, and he's noting that the developments appear to have unsettled Wike and his allies. And that's why, obviously, Wike has been going to several local government areas in the state, and instead of him to be talking about how they can improve the state or whatever, of which there's no even reason whatsoever why he should be there, because he should be minding the business that pays him in the FCT, but he keeps on talking about Fubara, keeps on talking about the national secretary of APC, Bashiru, and keeps on doing all of that. So basically, Fubara leaving to APC weakened his hold on River State and eroded the leverage. So he had leverage over River State. So now they're trying to look for new ways to reassert their influence. The problem is that what this is going to cause is political unrest. And not so long ago, there was political unrest in River State where the president had to intervene and say, you know what, I'm collecting the governorship from people, everybody go and speak. So I'm actually looking forward to how this will unfold, because I think that the fact that the president did not say anything since is problematic for me, because he cannot say that he's the president of the country. He cannot say that he didn't think something was going to happen. But I feel like him speaking would have maybe doused whatever tensions, because I think that Wike feels like he has the president's ear based off of the fact that they do things for APC, against PDP, be how we put it. But everybody, I don't know. Adeton, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, let me start by saying that in as much as we expect that a higher voice or someone in high authority should come in and say something, this is actually the way politics is being played in Nigeria. If you look at it, even let's go way back, we've seen some of these things come up as regards to someone is moving from one political party to the other, especially if he already has a political position, either as a governor or, a particular position is holding in a party, and is trying to, move to the next party, or just, it just feels more comfortable moving to another party. This shouldn't even be new. That's the kind of policy we operate in Nigeria. Then secondly, remember what happened, when the president intervened. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that he was actually trying to ensure stability, some felt that he shouldn't have had so much hold on the two political parties at that time, thereby, giving the decision, or, asking that, okay, if this continues, this is what we're going to do. And we know what happened, even with the few durations of months and all that this went down. So if you're not asking that the president should come in, and he feels the best way is to, do another round of what he did before. Okay. We are going to step on several toes, and it will be chaotic, the feedback might not be as what we had initially or before. Mm-hmm. And so I think for now, it would be, I feel that it would be better for the president to allow these two, play their games, so that when he's coming out to say something or to make decisions on the political stability of the state, it won't look as if it's because he has Wike as one of his cabinet members, or because the governor of River State is moving from PDP to APC, probably in favor of, he has actually removed his executive order on the state. So this is a way of saying, let me just follow with who is, currently on my side or has given a favored decision. Also, if you look at it, Rivers State has always been in the front burner when it comes to issues like this.
Yeah.
I must say they have a good reputation. Let me not use the negative part of it. For these tussles, godfatherism, and all that. Go back history lane, you will see that they have always been. It's more like this is Rivers State's own special political strategy. You can't have Rivers State have an election and even at the back of your mind, you're like, am I sure nothing is going to happen in the next few years? It will. They don't disappoint. As they say, they don't fall our hands. Something will bring them back to this drawing board. And it's really sad that in that state, we can't have peace because some people feel that they have power, to do and undo. And then they are not able to manage godfatherism in that state. Don't forget that politics in Nigeria also has, a bit of strands attached to, its sustainability when it comes to godfatherism. You can't rule out that in politics. But Rivers State so far has not been able to manage that. Where others have been able to annex opportunities in terms of godfatherism, they have failed largely on that. They are not able to. You bring in somebody, and say, I am your godfather. You want to contest in Rivers State. Before you know it, there's also, before you know it, there's one issue. I remember I watched a video where, as at that time, that was when Fubara was being brought on board by Wike. And I remember former governor of Ekiti, Fayose, was saying, if you work with this man, if you, follow his trend and all that, you will succeed if he's your godfather, But if you go around the next turn, that means you want to see another side of Wike. I can fully remember that video at that time, and that was the starting point. So I knew that somehow you will come back to this board and say, there's something going on in Rivers State as a result of not being able to manage godfatherism issues in that state. It's really disappointing because other states have been able to do that. And we don't hear such rivalry to this extent of destabilizing the state. So I feel that it is no longer a party thing now. I think it's more of a personal thing. You have, pledged your alliance for somebody to be your godfather. At no point in time should you turn back. Remember this happened in Ondo State when we had now Governor Ayedatiwa and the late governor. And somehow they were able to resolve this at some point so that they don't throw the state into a state of comatose. And at the end of the day, this same Governor Ayedatiwa retraced his steps back and they were able to sort things out. And, at the end of the day, when he went for the governorship, something really worked out. The people of that state were able to, give them their support, give him his support. So what I'm saying is this: you can't rule out godfatherism. It has come to play an important role in the politics of Nigeria. But managing it is what Rivers State has. And it's really sad because one state cannot throw the whole country into unrest. You can't make your people begin to feel bad about getting involved in politics. Before you know it, these people will lose their enthusiasm about coming out, to encourage what democracy is supposed to be about. When they see that, this is going on, and we are not people that are supposed to pay attention to developing the state and the people, they are going about moving from one, what is it called now? From one...
At the tone drop of the call, I think it's a technical issue. She's back now. Hi, at the tone.
Because they can't really manage, governance in that state. What legacy are they leaving behind for those that we are always encouraging to, make godfatherism part of how you can succeed in politics? Because if you look at it, godfatherism has a lot of advantages if you work it the right way. If you follow, you want to eat with the devil. Now somebody will say, use a big spoon because you know who you are dealing with.
Yes.
You know that at the end of the day, you're already there, and then you now start playing hanky-panky. That's where the issue is. Then, as a godfather, there are terms, that you need to also follow. Don't say because the power is in your hands, you've been there before and you want to mentor somebody, and then you start using that power, excessively. Forgetting that at the end of the day, democracy is for the people largely. These people come out to vote. Whether they like your face or not, we encourage them to come out and vote and contribute to decision making in democracy in that state. So when you disrupt it with all these tussles or unresolved rivalry and all that, you are not encouraging the people of that state to have peace in democracy.
Thank you so much, Adetoun, for, yes, I agree with quite a few things that you said, but you even brought up, another conversation, which is the case of godfatherism, which we know. But like Rose had said yesterday, it's not like Wike did not have a godfather. Amechi was his predecessor, and we not, maybe I might be wrong, but we don't see any of these movements, so to speak, between
Wike did not allow that to happen.
Right.
With Amechi. He did not, because he came out, in some videos was saying that if godfatherism is happening in Lagos, let's remain in Lagos, because for him, it's not going to happen in Rivers. So that's where he actually blocked Amechi from doing anything that has to do with godfatherism and all of that. And then after doing that, you now come back and want to do the same to Fubara. Fubara is saying, okay, but allow me to do this thing by myself now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he said no. So,
yeah, I get that. And that's the thing, I think it was this week or maybe last week, I said it to you that, we have two rules that we go by, the rule for ourselves and the rule that for everybody else.
Well,
then when it's now your turn, you're like, oh no, I don't want. And I quite agree with you that you need, I don't want to say godfather, maybe a mentor that can open the door for you, because in this life, somebody has gone ahead of you, somebody else has more experience in the thing that you want to do. And of course, if somebody opens the door for me now to enter politics, let me see. I don't know. I think that people mistake you being grateful that you opened a door for me to be enslaved to you. Am I grateful you opened the door for me? Yes. It should be a thing of pride for you that you're the one who opened the door for me and I went there. So you can really, like, you have a good track record. And I'm not, how do Yoruba say, I would be grateful. Do you understand? But to now start saying, oh, because you put me there, then it means that if I want to breathe, I should ask you. If I want to make a decision, I should ask you. If I want to have my next child, I should ask you. That's where the thing is a bit wobbly for me, because Fubara was doing a great job in Port Harcourt, in River State. He was. And then you come, I don't know, you want, and again, it's not that you are jobless. It's not that you are not in politics anymore. You are the minister of the FCT. What other thing do you want in this life?
You should actually be there for Fubara to come and say, Oga, okay, we want to do XYZ though. How can we do? Or, just be like a guide, or be like somebody that Fubara can always call on and say, Oga, this one happened, how do we go about it? I'm not actually enforce your way to it.
Yes.
Okay. Let me add to that. Don't forget I mentioned that there are terms and conditions. You are entering an agreement with someone to say, I want, whether you say godfatherism or you say mentorship. It's not even as strong as mentorship. Mentorship can be, oh, you want to mentor me to some extent. These are the things we are going to look at to groom you and all that. And then after I've groomed you, when you get in there, what is expected of you? These are because I'm coming with a lot of experience. Let me guide you through. When it comes to godfatherism, it's beyond what we are saying. And that's why I said there are terms and conditions. These things come with a lot of the do's and the don'ts. Something went wrong somewhere, and that's why they are where they are right now. And I also mentioned to you that, it's just like, it's not just the financial part of it now that we are talking when it comes to godfatherism. There are some limitations that you can go if you don't have a godfather in politics. That's the whole fact. Yeah. There are some things you can actually achieve extra faster in politics when you have a godfather behind you. And I say that with all sense of what I've seen in politics play in Nigeria. That is the old fact. There are terms and conditions. Something went wrong somewhere, and that's why they are here. For those that have godfathers and you didn't hear any brickery, any rivalry, that means they were able to manage it well. Even it will even get to where, oh, you are going beyond your boundary, or this is not actually what we agreed. They have a way of resolving it so that it doesn't come out in the open. If you observe, even the party is somehow, they don't even know, should we side Wike, should we side Fubara? Yeah. Don't forget that Fubara ran on the party's ticket under PDP. So whether you have a godfather somewhere or not, there are ways that, you know, made it easy for him to get there. He had the support of some people. I remember this incident that happened during the presidential, you know, election. You know, I think at the party level, before it got to, oh, this is the person we are bringing out to, you know, to govern us as the president. This is the candidate we have. And this is what most of the parties do. If you are coming out as a presidential aspirant, it just maybe there are 5 candidates. They will now all agree, okay, at this level, who do we bring out as a party candidate? And then they pick 1 out of 5. And the others have to step down. Yeah. Do you understand? The others have to step down for that single person. There are some people that have backed that person to that extent. But the power that the person now exerts after being elected is what we don't know about. What are the terms? Oh, when you get there, these are the things you will do. These are the things that you will get from me. These are the directions I want you to follow. So if the person is not doing that, that's when you begin to see this odd from different places. And then what Wike has done to this extent, going to each of the local governments, we've seen in the news headline that because he has a kind of niche on this different local government, there's an advantage he has, there's a leverage he has there. But because Fubara has moved from that PDP to APC now, there are going to be changes. And Wike does not want to lose that grip on those political parties. 100%. So these are things we've always had generally in politics as regards to godfatherism. But I would say that some people have been able to manage it over the years without this noise and commotion in the state. Why can't they do the same?
Thank you so much. It is 7 minutes after 8 this morning. You're still tuning into Women Radio 91.7 FM. This is the full break. This is the newspaper review segment of the Full Breakfast Show. My name is Fumi Bangala, joined by Yusuf Kaiser, and you just finished listening to the voice of our analyst this morning, Adeton Adeboom. She came with fire this morning. Like the holiday gave her plenty ginger. She just came all guns blazing, and we love it over here. It's a women panel. The phone lines are open on 7,917-917 or 9155-917-917, and you can call our toll-free line 0800-1235-917. You can text or WhatsApp us on 08155-917-917 or 0703-1756-537. We have some messages here. Beautiful Friday to you all in the studio. Same to you. Please, we always hear press statements issued out by your president, Tinubu, without the citizens knowing where Tinubu is right now. Since APC came into power in 2015, late Buhari and Tinubu never had any media chat for the citizens. If you remember, kindly correct me. The fight between Wike and Fubara should continue so that we'll hear more confessions how they rigged the election for Tinubu, as El Rufai confessed that Peter Obi won 2023 general election with 10 million votes. Let me tell anyone who has ear to hear, not everyone in life you will cheat and go free. APC is a disgrace to the nation, so says President Trump. May we never in life experience such characters in power in the name of Jesus. Oh God, arise and trouble those that are troubling Nigerians. That is from Mayor from Ikotun, AB. Next up, we have this one that says, Rivers APC rejects impeachment process against Fubara. Honestly, we can never saw Fubara's defection coming. That's why he ordered his men to defect to APC. But it was already too late. The odds are against him now because APC governors will not allow a PDP member impeach their member. Meanwhile, if Wike defects, he'll be under Fubara. Oh, I think somebody mentioned that as well. Was it you, Rose, or was it Emmanuel?
I think it's Emmanuel.
That said that if he that because now Fubara is the number one person in Rivers State. Wow, I'm seeing it. Oh wow, interesting. When you were speaking, Adete, one of the things that kept on coming to my head is is this why women would like it would take us a longer time to get into power because the men are not even green for themselves to now say they want to make space for women? Please, we're begging you. let me do what someone say. We're begging you, please. We want a seat at the table. I believe that if women are in power, they will be able to put everybody to calm down. I don't know how, but yes. Anyway, let's move on to the next headline, Rose.
Yes, let's move on to the next headline. And this particular one will look at the one for Obi because both headlines. So we'll just match both headlines. One that Peter Obi, the former presidential candidate, at Labour Party, was talking about how embarrassing it is as a country to still be owing, our Super Eagles bonuses. And if you want to look at it all round, all of these are sports people. You see that we're owing them one thing, or the other. In fact, not most of our sports, our athletes, our footballers, we're probably owing them one thing that we have not paid them. I just hope they've even paid the ones they promised the basketball ladies. If
No, I
hopefully
doubt them. They haven't.
I don't even know if they pay. So Obi is just talking about, the comment saying, "Oh, it's embarrassing" and all of that. Meanwhile, Ononuga comes out to say, "Obi, just quiet, I beg you. Now everywhere you dey put your mouth and all, and so on." But in the same vein, Obi also comes out to say how politicians are scrambling for power while Nigerians are falling into poverty. He goes on to give us, some of the statistics of, the poverty rates right from 2019, where he said that, he said Nigerians living in poverty surged from 81 million in 2019 to about 139 million in 2025. So between 2023 to 2024, we had about 14 million Nigerians who fell into poverty. Now, it is also estimated, Shebi yesterday, Abide for is already one of the headlines. All of us were saying, God forbid, we shall not be among the 40 million Nigerians.
Yeah.
So apparently, projections indicate that by 2026, 141 million people, that's 62% of the population, will be living in extreme hardship. So Obi goes on to say that we need to start looking at sustainable growth for Nigeria, stability, looking at some of the, how we can bring down the inflation rate. He was just bringing out a lot of things that we can do, as a country to see that all this is made to go away or find a way out of it. Now, but my own question is, you two, are you not looking for the power? Do you get? You
Are
two, are you not?
are you saying it because you're really concerned, or are you saying it because
You
people say,
get?
"Oh, he's
Are you?
concerned about
Are you?
Nigeria"?
You two are looking for the power, but at the end of the day, he's showing his own concern and he's doing his work as opposition. And for somebody who's trying to come to power, so he's bringing all of this out to come and tell you people that, because at the end of the day, he's saying that, oh, a new Nigeria is possible with the PO in brackets. So this one now, isn't this one to campaign? I mean, it's a subtle campaign, underneath, because at the end of the day, even you self, now power you define. If not, why, you have been moving from one political party to another, political party to another, and last now ADC got there. And the ADC where you did now, I think we'll have a call.
Good morning. Yes. We have a call from Maki from Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
Sorry, we didn't get you. Please do want to tell us your name
again. Yes. My name is Akin from Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
Oh, Akin, you're very much welcome, Akin. Good to hear from you this morning. Please go ahead, let's hear you.
Happy New Year to you. So my question is that on Wike, as Wike's loudness in this session, I think it is very, very, very shameful to Nigeria as a country. Because to me, I see as a territorial wolf. Can Kayode Egbetokun and the Attorney General is still the president,
right.
Can they call him to order to silence? To this all this loudness, can they call him to keep silence instead of disgracing Nigeria? That is my question.
All All right, thank you very much. I guess Sophie is asking, Adetong, that with all of these things that Wike is doing, can't we have the Attorney General of the Federation? Can't we have the president to call him to be quiet? Can't some people who are higher in, in hierarchy, in authority, just call Wike, tell Wike, don't do you, just calm down, quiet like that. Why do we just let him keep, ranting, babbling, and just going round, distorting the whole process in River State?
Okay,
So
so the
Good morning,
message,
women radio.
Miriam sent a message. She
Good
said,
morning, women
she's
radio.
asking if they cannot call
Good
Wiki.
morning,
All right.
women radio.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
women
Good
radio.
morning.
Good morning, Madam Fumi. Good morning, Madam Rose. Madam Adetong, the true Nigerian. Happy New Year and good morning. I quite agree with all you have said. And what all of you have really said. Let's start from how we behave to one another. I thank God today. Any day I sleep and wake up, I thank God. Many have gone this morning. Some in the hospital, they can't pay their bills. And I'm here, found. I always appreciate God. I cannot stop appreciating God. The day I stop that, I think I will leave this up because I know one day I'll go back to him and give account. I always say, we can do anything and get away in this world, but you can't get away from heaven. It's there in the Bible, it's there in the Quran. As appointed unto man, once after that judgment, we all face God's judgment. That determines where we spend it. I will always do what is right. Madam Adetu, I always, anytime you come on board, you see everything how it is. I agree with you 100%. Even the question that this man asked, now you've already answered it before, because I've been listening to you. If any one of these people come in now, they say, as long as that person from APC, brother can want to be there. And there's something you say, God for that reason, as much as I will not, support your distance. There are some people who are able to manage it. This same man is in position. If you look at how he right from time he started from one party and he has never jumped from one party to the other. And when it comes to politics, I give it to you. I want good governance. I want accountability for Christ's sake. I know where we started. Some of us that have advanced a little. Politics in Nigeria, almost everywhere that only can say that there's no God for that reason. As you have said, I don't need to repeat what you have said at this too. So we should know how to manage it. So don't do the conflict. This one is going in university. If not carefully, it can turn Nigeria into another thing. I can't go for the president we have. It's older person, I think you understand. Maybe we come in, God, I always pray for Nigeria, pray for my leader. How Bible says, always follow it. I know Nigeria will be great today. We should always do what is right anywhere we are. We cannot say because you are supporting this person, you are supporting it, and supporting it, you come on board, you come on here, so that I visit one another. Don't have right to support whosoever. So you listen me to me, and somebody come on. Thank God, I know how you answer. I never don't want to mention. I've been trying to avoid it because I'm a Christian. Christian are always people. They are kind. You don't fight. You don't look for anybody's trouble. You don't trouble them. You don't defend themselves. God will always defend them. And that is still I am where I am, who I am. And always, and I told anytime I go abroad, if I see what you know that against you is fucking off. I don't do what I blame other for. That's always it. So I enjoy what you people like. I don't need to take other people's time. We should always learn to do what it. That's in Nigeria we're talking. It all depends on all of us. We don't love our country, we don't love ourselves. If you love ourselves and love our country, we will not be where we are today. You learn to love one another and unite together and fight our common. Know that one day we go back to God and give account. Thank you, God bless you, God bless, and Nigeria will be great again. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you. All right, thank you very much for calling Evangelist Dixon this morning. So our time is fast spent at it all, but let's hear your thoughts on the question that I can ask if Wike cannot be called to order, and then the one for Obi talking about how politicians are scrambling for power while Nigerian is falling into poverty. Let's have your thoughts on these two things.
For the one that has to do with Obi, you just took the words out of my mouth. It's actually a subtle way of, bringing himself into the political scene to say, I'm still here, I'm still relevant, and I have some criticisms about the present administration. And of course, definitely we would always have this from the opposition. So he's really doing his job, subtly to the ears of those who have to hear it. If you also look at it, I think I saw one headline last year that talked about the poverty increase in Nigeria, and if we are not careful going forward, this is the percentage and all that. Or even without giving us the percentage, we already know what is happening. Everyone knows where the shoe is actually pinching. But as a form of, being optimistic and not dwelling on that too much, just encourage yourself. Whatever you are doing, do it well. Do the right thing and keep at it, steadily. As I mentioned, this year shouldn't be what will give you heart attack because of the economic situation of Nigeria. Giving your little effort, pray to God, and consistency, would also help you to get there. And so if it is little bit of drops here and there, before you know, it becomes ocean, rivers, whatever you can think of. So that headline will keep on coming to remind the administration in power right now that we still have a lot of work to do to ensure that the economy moves in the direction where the citizens are expecting it to move to. It looks so slow. It looks as if we are not seeing changes. But in some quarters, some have said, the tax law is actually going to bring some relief to some people. I've looked at that tax law, and I think one of these days we'll be able to talk about it if it comes on, as one of the headlines. But probably when I'm around on Friday, we'll be able to talk about it, because that's another issue. Where is the economy going with the reform in the tax? What we have right now with that tax, either as individuals or businesses or corporate organizations. Don't forget that the whole thing should revolve around the economy moving progressively and in the positive direction. So I think this poverty headline, or on how many percentage at what years we will get there to do it right, the government needs to take it as a priority, whether it's coming from an opposition or not. The fact is that let's look for how this economy will be much better in 2026. Food, let it be better. Most organizations are not willing to increase salaries right now. But how can someone earning a particular amount be able to survive and even strive as a business person in 2026? So that the poverty level or the percentage will drop, and then it will begin to favor a lot of Nigerian citizens. So that opposition comment is coming to say, Tinubu's administration start moving. This is the beginning of the year. This tax reform, is it going to favor Nigerians? Is it going to drive the economy positively and progressively? That is what we should be looking at. Yes, the opposition will say their own, but is Bayo and Onanuga and his team looking at the direction of those criticisms so that they can pick from it and then have a new direction towards making this economy work for everybody? We can't continue to talk about poverty level. Let something be done about it. And then for the last question, the caller who said, isn't those in higher position going to talk to Wike? I want to assure you that they have closed door meetings. And some of the closed door meetings is what came about when the president gave that order for Rivers State to be on state of emergency. We don't know what is going to come out with right now. We don't know how many discussions they have with Wike and Fubara. These are closed door meetings that we are not previewed to. But I am saying that looking at what is going on right now, the point where we are right now is that the governor now and the minister in Abuja trying to rule over or come to Rivers State to do whatever he wants to do should put it at the back of their mind that this is democracy that should work for the people, not because of two people's interests. You are there for the reason that people have come out to elect you. Do your job in that state. As a minister in FCT, all the news going around about kidnapping, killing, let him go and do his job. Fubara in that state, concentrate, be focused on why you have been elected by the people, whether you are moving from one political party or not. The fact is that democracy is for the people in that state. So do what you are expected to do for the people in that state, and let that state breathe. Let there be peace, for God's sake.
Thank you so much, Adito, for your message. Let's take this for your contribution rather. Let's take this message before we go. Excuse me. Top of the morning to you, ladies. Trust you're all doing amazing. Thank God it's Friday. Discussing Wike and Fubara's issue has kept me constantly wondering where lies the fate of the people of River State in all of this brouhaha. Since this Clash of the Titans season film started amongst the River State gladiators, there's been no visible progress in River State, but one unending drama to another, except the concept of godfatherism is eradicated from our politics and democracy. I don't see us making a headway in this country. I know there are some godfathers that don't hold their godsons by the jugular, same as Aditya said this morning. But how does one manage someone like Wike? There's a saying which goes thus: to dine with the devil, you need a long spoon. But I'd rather say, don't even dine with the devil at all, because the terms and conditions may not be palatable. Where do we then begin to draw the line in all of this? Godfatherism is the hydra-headed monster that has eaten deep into the fibers of our democracy. And the earlier we dissipate the warring persons in River States, the better for the citizens. On what Peter Obi has said, he has made absolute sense. But the question now is, who is the awaited savior we are waiting for to lift us out of this despair and quagmire that we have found ourselves in this country? God save our souls. Or wishing you a blissful weekend. That's from Mrs. Oboli from the crowd. Yeah, that's the last message for this morning. And I mean, Mrs. Oboli pretty much, reiterated some things that you said, Adito. Today was quite fire for fire today, and the energy was really, really high. Thank you so much, Adito, for coming on the show today. It's a pleasure. It's great to see your face. It's great to have you on after your really, really long holiday. This is beef.
Come on, Fumi, the holiday is over. The holiday is over.
The issue is we didn't get any holiday. Even when our colleagues got holiday, we didn't get one. So I am beefing everyone who enjoyed their holiday because we were working. So
please don't beef us. Don't worry, you get your holiday. Don't beef us.
Fingers crossed. All right, we've come to the end of the newspaper review segment of the Full Breakfast Show. Many thanks to Miriam in the studio. Many thanks to Hillary for also producing us this morning. Once again, thank you, Adito, for coming today. See you next week. And for the rest of us, see us on Monday for the next edition of the newspaper review program. But don't go anywhere. This is still Women Radio. 9 o'clock is the news, 9:05 is her lens, and 10 a.m. is Radio Doctor. My name is Fumi Bangala.
My name is Rosie Kaiser. Good morning.